Okay, everyone, with the spectacular turn of events, with the game and with a bunch of stuff, we are back at qualifying in Australia. And clearly, while all the other drivers are slacking off, Freeze is on a roll. He went off twice, in my opinion, when I kept seeing. By the way, if I haven't mentioned this before, I'm Sarthak and I'll be commentating for the entire of Boa Racing League Season 3. Before we switch, okay, Freeze is all over the place. Freeze, he touches the wall, wing damage for sure. Saw a piece of his wing fly off. Pushing him, Mr. Wex just set the fastest time in 1 minute 24 second point 665. And he holds provisional pole. But like we saw in the previous qualifying, which wasn't the official, but for sure a treat to watch. This one, anything can happen in the last minute. Mr. Wex and Freeze, teammates, P1 and P2 until Cygnus Raghavan, 9.5 seconds off the race leader, P2. And Freeze takes the P2. It's Toro Rosso provisional pole and P2, at least for now, until the boys from Renault and Alfa Romeo and Ferrari and Mercedes all come out to put in their lap times. Let's switch. Let's see what UK just set the fastest time, 1 minute 23 seconds, .820 in the Haas F1. Ooh, Freeze is retiring. Freeze got issues. Freeze got major issues. He almost parked the car, and it's a Mercedes off track. Was that accelerate? Nope. It was Cygnus Raghavan. Yep, it's Cygnus Raghavan. He went off for some unusual reason and his fuel is low. UK currently provisional pole, 1 minute 23 seconds, .820. Ooh, Cygnus Raghavan touches the wall. He's trying to get in control of the car. In sector 2, yellow flag. There's definitely an issue with the Mercedes. Freeze in the middle of the track, just frozen. Oh, Cygnus Raghavan's grazing the wall at this point. He's got some major issue. He gets tapped in the back by someone and he is retiring. Yep, he's retired. Cygnus Raghavan, 5th place grid penalty after collision with Rocketman. And I think it was Freeze who nicked him. Cygnus Raghavan's wrestling with his car. DRS is supposed to be enabled, it is, but I don't think he'll be able to push. He's desperately trying to fight with the car, accelerate in front of him. Let's move on to Thunderbird, who's still in the pits. Mr. Wex in the pits, UK in the pits, and accelerates out and about now on his outlap. He's trying to set a time. 1.5 seconds almost off the race leader. He's gonna come off the last corner. Is he gonna be able to set a time? And 2 laps done. He's still pushing through. Sikinik just out of the pits. He's on his outlap. Accelerate on his lap. He's gonna try and close that 1.5 second gap to the race leader. UK in the pits. Mr. Wex in the pits. He's off. Accelerate is off into the gravel. Oof. Probably this is the right time to mention that most of the racers on the grid are playing with their controllers. A couple of them playing with their keyboards. Kudos to them. I'm pretty sure that's a task. And KDB, our previous qualifying pole sitter, is playing with a wheel. Accelerate definitely has some issues. Big Man Joe set the fastest time. He's gonna try and keep that this time. Let's see if he does though. With just 1 lap into his tires, 123.673. And UK, the previous provisional pole sitter, only almost 0.147 seconds off of the current provisional pole sitter, Big Man Joe. Let's go down the grid. Let's see what's happening in the midfield. Sikinik's out on his out lap. He's going to try and close that gap to the front runners. Let's see if he'll be able to qualify in the top 3. I'm pretty sure that's something you would want, something good for McLaren as well, considering his teammates currently disconnected. He's pushing, he's on his lap now. Takes the first corner, second. DRS enabled. It's all for him. The whole track's empty. Well, let's move on down the grid. Let's see what Seth Ramsey is doing. In the Haas F1, he's got damage. Seems to be kind of having issues with his car. Oh, he's off. Gets one tire off into the grass. On his out lap, he's pushing Drunken Monkeys on his out lap too. Sri Watson 10 has damage, DRS enabled. He's on his out lap as well. Just got a pit. Rusty Nish, his teammate, in the pits. Let's go up into Thunderbird. He's trying to set the lap. Right behind him is the Spopacer Racing Point of, seems like, ooh, who's that? Who's that? Freeze into the wall on his out lap. Weird stuff happening on the out lap today in qualifying. Ooh, he grazed the wall again. He's having difficulty controlling that Toro Rosso. Ooh, and he's off gravel, grass. He's trying to control it. Nope, it's not happening. And Thunderbird into the pits. Sickenix pushing hard. Let's see what's up with Freeze. He's still grazing the wall. Can he get back? Can he get back in shape? Can he qualify more than P9? He seems to have better control over the car right now. Let's take a closer look. Seems to be cutting corners pretty well. 240 plus kph. DRS enabled. Sickenix currently P8. Freeze P9. He's gonna have to do a lot more than what he's currently doing to be able to come remotely close to who's the P8. Ooh, tough penultimate corner. Out the last corner. This is only the out lap, so the real lap starts now. Let's see what Freeze can do. Pushing the Toro Rosso. KDB took provisional pole while we were looking at Freeze's mishaps. Freeze is off the track again. KDB in provisional pole at 123.220. Big Man Joe almost half a second off of him. Of course, they're going to come out again. Freeze still going off track. Lose it completely. Let's take a look at what Seth Ramsey is up to. He's putting in his lap. Sector 1. Lowering it. DRS enabled. Fascinating thing though. Accelerate. 2 seconds off the race leader at P8. And he's on his out lap. So he's with Thunderbird. So there's a huge possibility they might meet together when they're setting the lap, unless one of them. Ooh, Thunderbird, just as we were talking about him, Thunderbird was grazing the wall back there, trying to give way to the others setting in the lap. Mr. Wex on a drive. And he kind of lost it. Ooh, he's got damage. He's got damage. In sector 2. P5 currently. If he can hold on to that, hold on to it, it's a good grip position for him. Ooh, he's going to graze the wall. Ooh, well put. He placed the car pretty well there. DRS enabled. He's got Thunderbird in the mix right in front of him. Thunderbird's currently way back in P9. Mr. Wex up in P5. Ooh. Oh, he's got issues. Mr. Wex got issues. He's not going to be able to close the gap in any way. Fuel and damage. Fuel and damage. He's going to nurse the car back into the pits. Yep, he's off into the pits. Let's take a look at Drunken Monkey. Also right behind Mr. Wex into the pits. UK is out. He's trying to set a lap. Ooh, he's going off. UK in the Haas. His teammate back in P7 and he's up in P3. He's got damage as well, just like Mr. Wex. He's got fuel issues. He's got some significant damage messing with him. If you can notice, he's doing too much and he's into the pits. Big Man Joe in the pits. KDB is out and not on his out lap. He's trying to set a lap. can he better himself? 123.220 and he is flying. He is flying 11,000 RPM plus, almost 12k. Perfect corners. Pushing real hard. Meanwhile, Rusty Nish in the Scuderia Ferrari takes P2. Provisional P2. Real close, real close. Rusty Nish and Big Man Joe are real close. Can they prove themselves to be a P2? KDB is flying. Everybody's in the pits except KDB and Rusty Nish. Is Rusty Nish trying to put in another good lap? Is he going to try and close the gap to KDB? It's like almost half a second. Should be able to, if you place the car right. KDB into the pits. And Thor is out on his out lap. Let's get back to him. Let's see what Rusty Nish is up to. He's trying to send a lap. He slides. Rusty Nish loses the right front tire and he has retired. But can he hold the P2 spot? Can he hold the P2 spot? It's the Scarlet Ferrari on track. An unfortunate crash for Rusty Nish. Number 38. Let's take a look at KDB, who's in the pits. Thor is coming up. He's almost done with his out lap. He's going to try and set a lap capable of at least fighting in the midfield, if not the front. He's in the pits. Oh, okay. He just did an out lap and he's back into the pits. That's not something you see often. Srivatsan just crossed Thor, I'm guessing. No, Thor was in the pits, so that was Thor's teammate. Srivatsan's teammate Rusty Nish, even though set a provisional front row place, he won't be able to. Maybe he could. You never know. It's racing after all. Maybe he can hold on to P2. Let's see where Srivatsan's place is in his Scuderia Ferrari. Pushing. Cygnus Raghavan in the Mercedes in the pits. Srivatsan 10. Quite the decent lap if you ask me. Right out the last corner. Will he be able to? Let's see where he places. This is his first lap in quali and he places P9 from P14. Great, good stuff. Long way off his teammate. Let's move on and see what Mr. Wex is up to, because I think he's trying to set a better time. He's got a Sportpacer Racing Point in front of him, who's also pushing, I'm guessing that's Drunken Monkey, who's in P5. So Mr. Wex is going to try and take that spot from Drunken Monkey. And Drunken Monkey is going to give it his all to climb up the grid even more in this short quali format. 2 minutes left. Let's see what's happening. Big Man Joe on his outlap, so we're going to see some interesting moves there. Mr. Wex on the edge. Drunken Monkeys placing the car pretty well. Mr. Wex right behind him. Mr. Wex got an issue. He slowed down again. Slow down. This is the second time happening. This is happening in qualifying. Runs the car off into the gravel a bit. Ooh. He's definitely got issues. He's gonna. Oh, but he wants to finish the lap. Okay. And he sets a time. Does he do a better job? Nope. He still holds on to P6. Drunken Monkey on another lap. He's gonna try and climb up the grid, and he's got all the, perfect. Ooh, I spoke too soon. Issues with the car. He ran off there and slowed incredibly. Let's see what UK's got issues. Everyone's got issues all of a sudden. UK is wrestling with his car. Ooh. That's not great. That's not something you want to see. Okay, seems like he's got a hang of it. That was supposed to be a proper timed lap for him. Gonna try another one. Big Man Joe's trying to place himself in the most ideal position So he gets provisional pole. Let's see what happens. It's up for grabs, completely up for grabs, and definitely, even if you don't manage to set the fastest time, for sure P2 is up for grabs. Considering Rusty Inish is disconnected, he will join us for the race. But right now, his position in the front on the front row is completely undefended. Ooh, he grazed the wall. Big man Joe, he's putting it in, cornering perfectly. He's pushing Wix 356, just got disconnected. He's pushing Mr. Vex in the pits. Let's see who's gonna. Will Big Man Joe get to be on the front row? Will Rusty Inish hold on to that P2, provisional P2? I think I saw Thor finish a lap. Big Man Joe in the pole. Big Man Joe takes pole. KDB has to hold on to that front row. Rusty Inish drops down to P3. UK still trying to put in a lap. Let's see what he's up to. Oh, okay, not good. He's got damage. He's got fuel issues. He's gonna try and hold on to that P4. Given that Drunken Monkey's done P5, Mr. Vex in P6, Vix 356 in P7, and that's a wrap for qualifying. Impressive. The first qualifying stint saw KDB do the jump on Big Man Joe, but this time Big Man Joe had the jump on KDB. Marvelous. It's gonna be a marvelous first corner. Let's see how it goes.